Hello and welcome to the Engage, Retain, and Grow webinar with Ben Baker. My company is Your Brand Marketing, and I want to thank Valley Forge Captive Advisors for hosting this today. We're at a crisis. Every business today is having challenges engaging, retaining, and growing employees. We're at a point right now where you're seeing this revolving door. It doesn't matter what company you are, but 8 months out, 12 months out, 16 months out, 24 months out, great employees are leaving. And the question is why? Why are we having such an issue having people stay? Well, people are saying that 70% of employees today are disengaged at work. That is an alarming statistic. You're dealing with 70% of the people are not taking their jobs to the full extent. They're not present when they're at the office. And that is critical. That is caused a lot of times by just people being unhappy. They're unhappy with what they're doing. They're not excited about what they're doing. They don't understand what their purpose is. And because they don't understand what their purpose is, they're out looking for work. And 50% of employees today are out there looking for another job. Now, this is costing the U.S. economy, and Gallup is saying this, somewhere between $450 and $550 million a year. Sorry, $450 to $550 billion a year. Let's get that right. That is an amazing amount of money when you stop and think about it for the U.S. economy. And let's break that down even further. If you look at your individual company, every employee that you lose has the potential of costing you upwards of $100,000. Now, think about that. From the minute somebody quits to the time you hire somebody new, you onboard them, you bring them up to speed in terms of being able to be trained, you get them engaged into the company, you get them acclimatized to your culture, that could be $100,000. Wouldn't that be something worth investing in? Wouldn't it be worth investing in the people that you already have instead of taking that money and throwing out the window every single time somebody leaves? So I want to take a look at 4 factors today. And that's the hiring process. That's the onboarding process. Management and leadership culture. And effective communications. Now, I've been in the marketing and communication industry for 25 years now. I work with large corporations, I work with government, and we find that effective communication, being able to allow people to understand that they're listened to, that they're valued, and that they're understood, are critical to keeping great employees. Those are things that are critical. Let me say that again. People want to be listened to, they want to be understood, and they want to be valued. And the more we can work to be able to allow people to understand that, and for them to understand how they fit into the company, how they fit into the culture, that what they individually do matters, the more engaged they're going to be. And the more engaged they're going to be, the less likely they're going to want to quit, and the less money it's going to cost you in the long run. So let's go into hiring first of all. The hiring process today is broken. We are getting more and more where we're hiring people for technical skills and nothing else. Yes, technical skills are important. Yes, we're living in a more and more technical world. But if we just rely on people's technical skills, if that's all we're hiring for, we're missing out 90% of the business because people are humans. These people are humans with wants, needs, and desires. The people they're going to engage with in the office have wants, needs, and desires. Your customers have wants, needs, and desires. And if we can't hire for fit, if we can't hire in a position where we're sitting there going, okay, is this person going to fit our culture? Is this person going to be a good fit in the company? Are they going to relate to other people in the company? Are they going to be happy? Are we going to be able to support this person? You're setting yourself up for failure. We have a couple of things that we do where, first of all, the hiring process is taking too long. It could be weeks between the time you put out an ad somewhere and the time that somebody is actually even called back. Think about that. Think about the fact that somebody puts in their resume. They're excited about joining your company. They think you're a great company. They want to be part of your company. And then it takes weeks and weeks and weeks for people to get back to them. And sometimes they don't even get back to them at all. How difficult would it be for every single person that applies for your job to put them in a database that says, you know what? Thank you, but no thank you. Thank you, but no thank you. Just they get a simple email back that says, you know what? First of all, they get an email back saying, we received your information. That's all people want. When they send in a resume, did these people actually receive it? Am I in the process? Am I in the queue? Am I even being thought of? And as soon as they're not being thought of anymore, how difficult would it be to send out an email that says, you know what? Thank you for applying. You didn't make it through the first round, second round, third round, fourth round. We really appreciate that you're doing that. We value you. And if you can do that, people are going to talk about that because most times people get ghosted. They put in a resume and they never hear back. And who wants to apply for a company? Who wants to be part of a company where they never hear back? And all of these people have social media platforms. All these people are going to talk to their friends. All these people are going to mention something online about the fact that they applied for this company and they never heard back anything. So getting back to people, just even to say thank you, but no thank you, and doing it in a timely manner is just the first step to building great employees, because what you're doing is the people that you do get back to are excited, and they're excited faster, if they are going to the next step. And the people that aren't saying, oh, wait, at least this company is human enough to take my feelings into consideration. Maybe I should look and see what they do a little bit more, and maybe I'll become a customer, and maybe I'll reapply. So there are some good things that go on with this. The second part about hiring is when you do hire, it's a challenging process, and it can go through weeks, and you're going to take them through psychological evaluations, and you're going to take them through some testing, and there's a whole bunch of different factors. And towards the end, you're going to get down to 3 or 4 candidates. There's 3 or 4 people that you actually think could be the right person, and in the end, you pick one. But what if we did this a little differently? Because all of a sudden you've hired one person. And let's say you hired the wrong person. What if in 90 days that person didn't work out? And it happens. It happens more often than not. And all of a sudden you're out all those costs and all that investment and all that time. And what if instead you took those 4 people and said, tell you what, we're going to hire you on a consulting basis for 2 weeks. And give each one of those 4 people a different task and a different group, and get them involved in your company, and let people within your company find out, what's this person really about? Is there a good match? Is there a good culture fit? Are they the type of person that roll up their sleeves and actually get involved? Or is this somebody that you actually don't want working for you? And at the end of 2 weeks, you have the ability to say thank you, but no thank you. You've invested a little time, you've invested a little bit of money, but nowhere's near the type of capital that you would have if you take this person through the 90-day process and then they quit, or you don't want to hire them. And guess what? Those 300 candidates, and one of them could have been the best candidate, is gone. They've been hired by somebody else. They're not waiting around. They're not waiting for you. And you have to start the process all over again and hope that you're going to get the next candidate. Now, the next thing you want to think about is onboarding. This is the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on your company, that you have this employee with you. Most companies do this wrong. The first thing that somebody they walk in the first day, and what do they get? They get a mountain of paperwork. You have to fill out this form and 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 this form. What if you, as a company, had cascading software and it's all available to be able to put the information into one, and the information gets disseminated amongst all the different forms? That way, when the person comes on board, there might be one or two little things that they have to fill in, but the majority of the information is already filled in for them. And they're not spending the first day, 2 days, 3 days in form hell. Use technology in a way that's going to be efficient and is going to allow people to be able to do the better things which are more efficient, i.e. having a plan for them the first, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Have a mentor for them. Have somebody that's a buddy that's going to walk them through and is going to introduce them to people. That is going to be their cultural attaché. Somebody who's going to show them how they fit in the company. That's going to make sure that they get meetings with the CEO, the department heads, got to walk through the floor, understand how the different departments work with each other, and really get a lay of the land. If you're doing that, you're building a culture. You're getting somebody to understand how they fit into the company, why they belong, and how they can add value. And those are the big things, because if all you do the first couple of days is get them to fill out paperwork, the first thing that's going to happen when they get home, and I don't care if they're 18 years old or they're 60 years old, somebody's going to ask them, how was your first day at the office? And if they don't say that they had a positive day on day 1, on day 2, on day 3, all of a sudden they're going to start questioning, is this really where I want to be working? Am I feeling valued? Am I feeling listened to? Am I feeling valued? Am I feeling understood? And if you can't get people to feel that way, they're going to start all of a sudden looking and brushing up their resume and putting it out there and they're going, maybe this isn't the right place for me to be working. And those are the things we need to be thinking about. It's little things. It's having the business card sitting on somebody's desk with their name spelled properly, their email set up, and their phone number already on these business cards, 500 business cards or 250. Ready to go the first day they walk in the door. It's having promotional products, that are in their size on their desk laid out to say thank you. Having their desk cleaned up. So it's not just a mess, or their office isn't full of boxes because it's been used as a storage room for the last 2 months while you've been in the hiring process. Making sure the voicemail is set up properly, so all this person has to do is enter their 4-digit code and actually put in their voicemail. Making sure that their computer is there for them their first day and it's set up properly and it's actually new technology or recently new technology. These are the little things that make people feel that they belong. And if we can't do that, as an organization, we've already lost them, because somebody's going to ask them, how was your day? And if they can't say, it was great. I got to meet the president. I got to go for a tour of the facility. I got to learn a whole bunch of things about the company that I didn't even know. If they can't do that, they're going to start questioning, why am I here? Now, let's talk about management versus leadership culture. I am on a bent to get rid of the word manager. Managers give somebody a task, walk away, and expect it to be done. Leaders, on the other hand, are giving people the reason of why things need to be done. They are sitting there saying, this is what you're doing, and this is how it fits into what we're doing as a whole company or as a division. And this is why it's important, and this is why I need you to take care of this, because we're trying to do this. And what you're doing right now is critical for the overall piece. It's a good leader takes the time to instill passion in the people that are with them. The difference between a manager and a leader is in this simple sentence. A person's been at your company for a day, a week, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and they're late 5 days in a row. A manager says, you've been late for 5 days in a row. If you keep doing this, we're going to have to write you up. A leader, on the other hand, turns around and says to this person, you've been late for 5 days this week. Is everything okay? It's a subtle difference. But a leader leads from the middle. They give some people a gentle push. They reach behind them and pull some other people up behind them. But for the most part, they're in there with the trenches, shoulder to shoulder with people. and helping move the process along, helping make the best and getting the best out of the people that work with them, and building teams and building people to believe that they can be more, and giving people the skills, the training, and the understanding that they have the ability to be better. And that's what we need in the world. I don't care if you're a leader, a junior leader, and you're leading an initial team or a division or the actual company itself. The world needs more leaders. They need more people to sit there and say, you know what? This is where we need to go, and this is how we're going to get there together. And let me give you, if you don't have the skills, let's make sure you get the skills. Let's make sure that we get the best out of you, and we continue to get the best out of you. And we sit there individually and say, where do you want to go? What's next for you? What are the things that you're passionate about? What do you desire? And if we can think about those things, and we can sit there and say, maybe this person's going to work for me for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but when they're ready for something new, we need to celebrate that. And we need to help them get there. And we need to give them the skills to get to the next level, because we have people coming up in this workforce that are thinking of what's next. They don't hire for a position. They hire for the fact, people want to be hired for the fact that they're going to do this today, but where am I going within the company? What's next? What's the next promotion? What's the next, possibility? And if leaders can provide that, if they can understand what are the motivations of the individual people within their department, they can help people get there. And it may not happen tomorrow. The person may not go from being a brand new hire to the director of marketing, but if that's where they want to be, let's give them the skills, the training, and give them little tasks to do, to give them the skills that they need to get there. If not, sooner or later, somebody's going to provide them the skill, and they're going to give them the director of marketing. They're not going to have the training. And what do we have? We have the Peter Principle. Somebody has been hired and promoted to the level of their incompetence. And no company wants that. Nobody needs to have leaders that are there just because they've been there long enough, or somebody thought, well, they were a good salesman and they're going to be a good sales manager. They're different sets of skills. And we need to recognize that, and we need to train our people. If they want to get to the next level, we need to give them the skills to get there. It's not just the technical skills. It's how to listen, how to be empathetic, how to sit there and get the best out of people. Those are the things that we need to focus on if we want to build leaders. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is effective communication. Too many companies send out a memo, put something on a board, and expect that everybody understands it. First of all, that they've read it. And second of all, that they understand it. Effective communication is a two-way street. You tell somebody that, and did you understand that? Do you understand where we're going? Do you understand how what you're doing affects the overall reach, goals of the company? And that's where getting rid of a vision and mission statement is the best thing for a company, and creating a brand story. If you look at most companies, they have these wonderful 6-word vision and mission statements that mean nothing, because nobody remembers them and nobody lives them. Nobody sits there every day sitting there going, oh, our vision and mission statement is this, and this is what we need to do. But a brand story is something that everybody can resonate with. Where were we? Where are we today? What do we do? Who do we do it for? Why do they find us valuable? What are the problems that we solve, and why? And where do we want to go as an organization? If we can instill that in towards our every single employee, then that resonates. And if that resonates, all decisions that go on within a company are a byproduct of that brand story. And people sit there and say, well, wait a second here. This is incongruent with our brand story. This doesn't make sense based on where we want to go. Why are we doing this? And it gives you a litmus test. It gives you a direction, a compass to sit there and say, are these decisions and are these actions that we should be doing to further the direction that we're trying to go as a company. And by having that brand story and constantly, augmenting that brand story as things change in division, and, it allows people to have something internal that they can believe in, that they can go to, that they can sit there and say, am what I doing furthering the company? Is this going to make the company better? Is this, idea that I have going to be better for the company? Great. Now let me bring this thing forward. Let me bring this up to the leaders within the organization to say, I had got this idea. I think this could make things better. This is why I think it's going to be better. And this is how we can do it together. And that's how you build better employees. You give them something that they can resonate with. You give them something that they can understand, they can believe in. And if they know that from the C-suite and the CEO and the founder down to the average person on the show floor or in the company, if everybody understands the brand story, everybody lives it, and everybody believes in it, then everybody's going to be going the same direction and people will be more engaged. It'll be easier to retain. And growing employees is easy because they understand where they're going and they understand the objectives and they understand how to get there. So this has been how to engage, retain, and grow. This is the people need to understand why it's important, why what they do within the company matters. And they have to believe that people think that what they do matters and they have value. And when we can communicate that, and when we can build a culture that designs through that, we're all going to be better. Our employers are going to be happier. And when our employers are happier, they become brand champions that support our customers. Our customers are happier. And all of a sudden, we go from being a commodity to a brand worth loving. And we stop going from being the lowest price to somebody that somebody finds value for. And your customers are loyal. They're going to last longer. They're going to be with you longer. And you know what? They're going to tell others. So I wanted to give everybody, if you go to my website, to yourbrandmarketing.com, on there, there's top 10 ways to increase employee engagement and company loyalty. It's up in the top left-hand corner. Download it. I hope you find it valuable. My name's Ben Baker. My company is Your Brand Marketing. What we do is we do consulting and we do workshops to help you develop effective internal communication within your company. It's all about building leaders at any level. It's all about helping you build better teams. And we're here for you. So you can always find me through yourbrandmarketing.com. On email, it's ben@yourbrandmarketing.com. And if you want to reach out by phone, it's 604-512-7174. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed the webinar, and I look forward to hearing from you.